I feel like there's no impossibles. There's only impossibles if you make it impossible. But we can literally do anything that we want. Yes, it takes time, obviously. Nothing happens overnight. But I think like as long as you're willing to do the work, it will make a huge difference. And what's one advice that you will give to someone that maybe tells you, I really want to lose weight, or I want to get started with my fitness journey, but I just don't have the time, or I don't have the money right now?
Look, that's a most common thing that people say: time and money. At the end of the day, I'm going to actually start with the money side because, and this is even from my own experience, investing a lot in my education to be a better coach. When there's a will, there's a way. But you will make it happen. No matter what happens, you can say money, and I know it's tough, and especially the times that we live in now, it's tough. But if you really want something, you can make it work. And it's about communicating, maybe saying to anyone or anything that you're paying for, can we set up a payment plan or something to really help you? But I feel like people straight away go to, no, I can't afford it, when they can afford other things. These are the same people that, get their hair and nails and go here and buy new shoes every week. And it's like, really got to find, and even myself, I cut back a lot on shopping, like for clothes and shoes, to really invest my money in other things that were going to benefit me education wise. And and like obviously competing, it's very expensive as well. So a lot of it's gone. And with the time, I literally know the busiest people in the world that still find the time. And I think, and I'm sure you've mentioned this before, like I think people confuse time with laziness. Like it's like, well, which one is it? Like you've got to make the time, and it might mean having to sacrifice something or making small sacrifices, but you're going to feel good in the end because you've actually taken the time to focus on yourself and do something for yourself. I work with a lot of mums at the moment, and they love it, the feeling of losing the baby weight and taking that time for themselves. Like, some will never do that because they're so caught up in, I don't have the time and, don't have the energy, but you've got to really make it happen, and it's just like, look at me. I've got 2 jobs. I've got my own house, like a husband. I'm a dog mom. Like anyone that has a dog, like, it's still hard, working 2 jobs, competing, and I still make it happen, and I know people are easier than me and still make it happen, so, like even my husband, he does 13, 14-hour shifts, 5 days a week, still gets to the gym 5 days a week. Like there's no excuse. So, I think people really confuse that with laziness, and I get life's hard and I get things are hard, but I think just choosing your heart and making the sacrifice to dedicate to yourself.
There's literally no excuses. I think it's just easier to make excuses because we don't want to make the time. We don't want to make the effort because it requires effort. It requires everything from you. And sometimes we're so used to being too comfortable that we don't want to change anything. And that's why I love talking to people like you, because you're like, I feel like your mindset is everything. Like you're just so goal driven. You're just so strong. You're just, the perfect example for everyone so they can learn from you. So I hope you guys are taking notes because there's so much knowledge from this podcast. And just one last quick question before we go. What's one advice that you will give to your younger self?
I think best advice to give to my younger self. Ooh, that's a really good question. I think just go with your gut instinct. Don't worry about what other people think. I think I was so fixated on what other people will think and it's like, I feel like I could have been a little bit ahead of my goals if I just went with my gut instinct. So, and like I was going back to saying before, you can do anything you want to, and don't let anyone tell you can't, Is it going to be hard? Yes. But the reward and the end is going to be well worth it. So I think just my old self is just trust your gut instinct and go with that. And just learn to do things for yourself, and it's okay to be selfish sometimes. I think that's a big thing. Yeah.
I love that. It's 100% okay to be selfish. Like, don't be afraid to do things for yourself because you only have one life. We're doing this for ourselves. Like, if you want to be happy, you have to do what's the best for you. But thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here, for sharing all your knowledge. Tell us what's your social media so you guys listening, please follow Alyssa. She has so much content about nutrition, about training, about mindset that it will help you so much to reach your goals.
Yes, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. And like, you know, just I love your mindset too. And I think that's why we can really talk about these things because we're on the same page. So yeah, just keep listening to these podcasts, guys, because they're amazing. And yeah, we'll have to do another one soon, definitely.
Mm-hmm. We will 100%. Send us your question, guys. Whatever you want me and Alyssa to talk about, we will do it. Just send us the questions on Instagram.
That will be good.
Yeah, make sure to follow her. We'll be here again sometime very, very soon. She's in Australia, I'm in New Zealand, so there's a little bit of time difference, but that's not an excuse. We'll make another podcast for you guys. And as I always say, please share this if you find this helpful, and don't ever stop believing in yourself. Ciao.